Howdy, I'm Keely Knutsony.
Constantine Nelson.
And for the interview today, Constantine, what do you think happens after we die?
I like to go by the theory that we're rebirthed as everyone else who ever lived and will live.
Where does your belief of that stem from?
The Egg by Andy Weir. It's a short story, but it is also profound, and it puts things into perspective to where we are all, like, humanity is one, and after all of humanity has experienced all of human experience, the we that we are, ultimately turns into a God.
Interesting. So, in your rebirth, like, what is a day like in that? Like, tell me more about what it is.
What do you mean?
Like, I was just telling about, like, a day in heaven. Like, you have a job, and it's perfect. Like, what is your rebirth exactly? Like, is it another life you're living on to, or
I get
like
rebirth as you, or Granger Hassman, or
so like you're just rebirthing to anyone,
well, ultimately
everyone. Like, explain that more. Like, if you died, you're rebirthed into like all millions of people on this earth.
everyone who's ever lived and will live.
Interesting. And like, what do you do as that? So if you're like millions of people, what are you like?
Well, at the end, you're developing into a God, and the only way to do that is to know all of humanity. And so the only way to do that is to live as everyone.
So you're rebirthed as a god.
No, you're rebirthed as a person.
Okay.
And then once you have lived all of human experience, you have enough to turn into God.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. Second question. How does your belief or lack thereof in an afterlife, or the belief in your rebirth theory, affects the way that you live your life? What choices do you make that are directly or indirectly connected to your afterlife beliefs?
Ultimately, some conclusions you can extract are that it doesn't really make sense to be mean to other people needlessly, because ultimately you're being mean to yourself in another life. And then another conclusion you can draw is that the purpose of life is to maximize human experience, because that is ultimately what makes it, at the end of the line, have that being, which is yourself and everyone else, turn into a God.
So just so like I'm understanding right, the principle of this rebirth process is like just kind of live by like good morals overall.
What?
Like the purpose of like, or the principle, like live by good morals overall, like your entire life, and just try to be like the best person you can be. I'm just trying to understand better.
Can you say that one more time?
To better understand like the principle of like your life before the rebirth is just trying to live to like up to the best morals and be like the best version of yourself, so then like everyone else can experience that, because everyone's gonna morph into like you're gonna be with everyone.
That's part of it, but also like just maximizing human experience in general. Like if you're debating on whether to do something or not, like might as well go ahead and do it, because now you've done something that you haven't otherwise done. So overall, just do the most things, get the most experience under your belt.
All right. Gotcha. Well, thank you, Constantine.